Two T's in a pod, yeah, we're taking a ride. Tombi and Tam got the mic open wide. Talking TV, talking news, spilling tea in the blues with some movie reviews and a laugh or two. From big screen dreams to our daily schemes, moves, pets, and holiday themes. Poppy and Rosie barking in the back. Cosmo, Yarny, Salem on the cat attack. So grab a seat, let's chat a lot. You never know what we've got. Two voices, one vibe. Come along for the ride. It's two T's in a pod. Let's get it on.
Good evening, ladies, gents. He's Rhoda. What happened? Hi, Rick. Okay, so everyone's probably wondering what happened to YouTube because there was a stream there, but I had to stop it and restart it because Rumble wasn't connecting. So unfortunately, because of the way EV Mux connects, you've got to basically destroy the existing stream in order for the next one to come up. So yes, welcome, ladies, gents, to the Two T's in the Pod, episode number 40.
We haven't got the Rumble chat up, have we?
Rumble chat will come up to the right-hand side.
Okay.
So you see where our chat is over there.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've had to use the workaround in order to get the Rumble chat up. It doesn't naturally come up in the EV Mux chat. I have raised it with the EV Mux team for them to work on, and they are going to work on it. But unfortunately, at the minute, you'll only see it on screen. So I'm going to be paying attention to both anyway. So if anything comes up in Rumble, I'll certainly be able to see it, be able to know about it, and we'll attack it at that point. But, ladies, gents, welcome. How we doing out there? And I can see Rick was here, but he's gone, oh, is this thing on? He's probably doing something lame and gay. And then we've got Rhoda. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. What happened? Hi, Rick. Hi, Tombi and Tam. It's good to see you. It is nice to be back. It is nice to be live. Okay. It's nice to be back with the dogs and the animals. It is not nice to be back in the UK. I have actually spent a lot of time today sorting out my room. It's kind of like a bit of a bomb site at the minute. So if I zoom out, everyone will probably know that I normally got a table just there. But now you can see the aircon unit. So the table's gone. The second youngest son is actually picking up that table. He's moving into his first place with his girlfriend. It is a big moment in I would say a child's life, but he's not. He's a fucking grown adult.
But then different because being in the
armed forces.
Yeah.
It's slightly different, isn't it?
He hasn't actually needed a home.
No, he hasn't. He's been self-sufficient for years. Tom's a good egg. So he's very much like us. He just cracks on with life and goes from there, really.
Yeah.
But it is nice to know that once Tom has officially moved in, there are no more. That's it. All the kids' ties to the home are gone at that point.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like it's Tombi and Tam time, which is hence the reason why we were actually coming over to America and looking to get some freedom units in us instead. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me zoom in a little bit more to us. There we go. Rick, how you doing, brother? Yeah, sadly, Rick, I had to kill the initial YouTube stream in order to get the Rumble connected and up and running. But a bit of a mare at the start. DJ Play Nice, good to see us all. It's good to see you all. So yeah, I had to kill the initial stream. I had to reset up for this stream. And hopefully, we are all fully live. It does look like we're live across the board. Don't forget as well, guys, Rumble. So both myself and Tam are pushing hard for Rumble. At the minute, I need the watch hours. Tam needs the streaming hours. So Tam's streaming over Rumble, no problem. Hopefully we can get her into the creator program at the end of the month. But if you are bored, guys, watch on Rumble. Watch on Rumble. There's a link to my Rumble. Jump over to there. I do need the watch hours. They are quite hot on the old watch hours over on Rumble these days. And they're about to introduce new requirements in the form of chatters, active chatters. So the more people I can get in there, I just need people to pop in, say hello. Yeah, some of the watch hours is good, but it's more about the active chatters. And that's for anybody that's currently streaming on Rumble. So Yanni would be the same, Uncle Martin would be the same, Major Zap, Steel Leg, Tam when she goes into the creative program. Queen and King and Queen Comics. Terra Crystal, hey there, Missing America already. Yes, and this is why Tam is wearing her Boston Red Sox.
Yes.
She's got a Boston Red Sox. Yeah.
That way.
Yeah, Boston boob socks, Boston Red Sox. So yeah, Tam is missing it. I am missing it as well. It's weird because we only came across for 3 weeks, and it just felt right straight away.
Yeah, it's more the fact that we were a bit more chilled out as well.
Rick and Rhoda just joined over on the Rumble side. Thank you very much indeed. And we can see that bottom left if you have a look. By the side of you.
That's not left, that's my right.
Irrespective. Bottom left.
And because of the way it's laid out with the colours, I can't actually see properly.
That's right. As long as we know that people are across there and people are watching, people are chatting, that's the important thing. David Morris as well. Let me say hello to the chat. Tam, did Lily try the leather and did it fit her?
No, actually, it fit Jamie, the daughter. And it was absolutely perfect on her, Rick. And
it was a perfect fit for the daughter, mate.
Yeah. She's actually got shorter arms than Lily because Lily's arms are about 5 foot long.
Lily is a giant. Let's just be no bones about it. Lily is a giant. It fit Jamie perfectly.
Yeah, it fit her across the shoulders and down the sleeves and everything.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, good to see you, Terra Crystal. Rick, I'm on both. Good. Thank you very much indeed. Then we got DJ Play Nice. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here as always. Rick says, we really had a great time while you were in Massachusetts. Yeah, apart from the masshole drivers, Massachusetts was all right. I mean, it was fairly quiet in Sleepy Hollow. It would have been good to see more of Boston because I think there's a lot more of Boston we could have seen. But obviously, time was against us on the entire holiday. Time was always going to be against us because there was a lot to cover and a lot of miles to drive. And anybody that currently lives in America right now, you understand the concept of distance. Whereas for Brits, the concept of distance is pretty alien until we got out there. But I will say, it was comfortable driving between places. I really didn't struggle.
And I will say, it didn't feel as bad as it would here.
Yeah.
Here, you seem to drive for hours and get nowhere.
Yes.
So we did 160 miles back from the daughters, and it took us 4 hours.
Yeah, it did.
So that's ludicrous. And I think that's the big difference because we were getting in the car, travelling those distances, and it was taking a lot less time to get there.
Right. Let me make it less transparent in chat. Might be able to see it. She's going to have to boost her own audio, mate. I can't control her audio.
Oh, hang on. Is that any better?
Yes, much better.
Okay.
Much better.
Yeah. It's because I'd turned it down.
Yeah. Heretical Nerd has joined us in chat as well. I did see your message with regards to Halo Master Chief Collection. The only problem is it does clash with the streams I've already got in the diary on Saturdays. So unfortunately, whilst I would love to partake, I'll have to skip over it, which is a bit of a bum. But I will be able to come and watch you guys playing. I will be able.
Hiya, Pete.
It's good to see you, though. As Mandiaz, yeah, driving in Europe is generally a pain in the butt. Yeah, it is. I mean, as soon as we got on the A14 coming back from the daughters, it was like instantly the road was shut and there was no way around it. It was like, and then three tow trucks trying to come up the middle to go and clear whatever the blockage was, and there was just no room for anyone to move across. We only just managed it. We only just managed it. So, yeah, having the dogs in the car. The only saving grace is that I had filled up with... I'd completely filled up with fuel. So we had fuel, and it's a new car, so no problems with aircon. Local prepper! Hello from America. I'm one of the nice ones. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Well, look... Born fucking hell, let's get it in the right place. Born United. There you go. Born United. And this is my triggered. It should have Tigger on the back, but it's probably going to be difficult to see it, to be honest. But local prepper, thank you very much indeed for joining. This is the regular Tombi and Tam podcast, where both myself and the wife talk about stuff. We talk about news, games, TV, politics, whatever comes to mind, holidays. We talk about moving to America. We are moving to America. We've got a couple of months. We've got a couple of years before we can go out there. But yeah, it's definitely on the agenda. We loved it. Honestly, Tennessee, in and around Nashville. Probably up to an hour, 2 hours outside of Nashville, up towards Clarksville, Greensville, probably south a little bit towards Memphis, but not close to Memphis.
And not too close to Knoxville, because I would hate it if I had to go into there to shop.
Yeah.
I think I might be one of the first people, because everybody else that I know that has been to Knoxville has absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I actually found it quite uncomfortable.
The thing is, do you know what I think it was? I think our issues with Knoxville wasn't so much Knoxville, it was where we were staying. Because we were staying in this freaking posh hotel, which we thought, yeah, it would be nice. We'll have a decent room close to town and this, that, and the other. But you also had to contend with, it was the end of Ramadan. So you had a lot of people descended on and about. I don't begrudge anybody celebrating their religion. But when the Muslim faithful turned up outside the hotel, because across the road from the hotel,
at 6:30 in the morning,
yeah, laid out a massive kind of like prayer session, and they are testing microphones at 6:30 in the morning at full blast. I was like, wankers. I don't begrudge people of their religion, but just don't test your fucking mic so early. And considering
right outside our window,
we were right outside our window, and there was no soundproofing there. Market Square was a bit. I was expecting Market Square because that's where most people go for a night out, to be like bigger or larger and more fanciful, but it really
less
wasn't.
seedy.
It really wasn't.
It was actually quite seedy looking. I will say that.
Yeah. Best thing about Knoxville is about 25 miles from Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. Yeah, if you want to go down and see Dollywood. It's a flex on purpose, yes. Rick says it was hilarious when you were complaining live about them. Mate, it fucking annoyed the living piss out of me. I don't begrudge anybody doing anything. You fucking crack on, but at least have some consideration over when you were doing it.
Why the fuck right outside the hotel?
the other thing as well is the hotel were slightly arseholey because they would have known this had been scheduled and booked, and they should have turned around and said, by the way, tomorrow you are likely to be woken up early on in the morning because you are right next to a prayer site. Well, it's not even a prayer site. It was a fucking field. It was a football field or a school field or a convention field, loads of grass. And they just rolled out all the mats and then went come by in for fucking 3 hours. And then they all fucked off. And then everybody was just in town. It was just like, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Rick says, Dollywood is actually a great time. Food is good. Rides are good.
Not our sort of thing.
Don't get me wrong, I like Dolly Parton. I think Dolly Parton is brilliant. It's probably not something I would go to a theme park and celebrate, though. She has done an awful freaking lot. And especially her books, her book club. The fact that she's delivering books to children up to the age of 7 every year of their lives, as long as you've subscribed to it. So if you've got young kids, you're in America, you're in the UK, Canada, and a few other places, I think Australia, and a few others. If you sign up for the Dolly Parton book thing, your child, every year of his life, will get books on their birthday. Absolutely fantastic.
For the first 7 years, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Dazzy says, the show not on Rumble today. Yeah, it is. So here's my link. And Tams's link is this one. So there's 2 links there. There's 2 links there. They have no choice, only where. Yes. Did you check out that barbecue place I suggested? To be honest, Pete, I can't remember where you suggested. Let me have a look.
We did try one out in Knoxville that was most disappointing when...
Yeah, we didn't have a great time in Calhoun's, to be honest. Calhoun's wasn't as good as we expected it. Now,
the service was shit as well.
Yeah, the service was shit. Now, when we got to Nashville, in fact, no, we did. One was in, what's it called? Rhoda's over on Tams's Rumble. And hey, thank you very much. Hey. When we went down to Jack Daniel's, we had a random barbecue. So you go into Lynchburg, into the town square, and just off this side street, down the freaking hill, is this
shack.
And yeah, barbecue in there. And it was really, really nice. Really, really well cooked. I struggled to eat it all because portion control isn't one of the mainstays in American food. You just get a lot. And this whole concept of boxing up your meal.
Yes, guys, if you made the portions slightly smaller and cheaper, people wouldn't need their meals boxed up.
So you could easily make the meal half the size, make it 30% cheaper, and you would still make a killing in terms of serving food. And people would be happy. And local prepper, yeah, that's one thing that Rick said. That's one thing that Rick said is when you're ordering food, they make sure you get a decent portion, and because you've paid for it, you can take the rest home and you just warm it up for later, which isn't a bad thing. Yeah, it's a midnight snack. If you've got pizza, Chinese, Indian, curry, stuff like that works. But some meals just don't work if they're reheated. They really don't. Can you imagine taking home a steak, half an eaten steak, and then trying to warm that fucker up? It's going to be like shoe leather.
Okay.
Mexican, yes, local prepper. That's the one thing that we didn't have is Mexican. I wish we did.
The heretical nerd, Tombi Tam. I don't think we can be friends anymore.
That's all right. Don't worry, I'm friends with Donna Hall now. So, yeah, Pete, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
How you doing, Donna? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Rick says, geez, Tombi, did you not see the size of the heifers in America? The land whales must feed. Yeah, but we're not exactly the biggest people in the freaking planet. I mean, you've seen us in the flesh. I'm short. Tam is fucking shorter. And we're not big people. So when we get a whole plate of food and it's like, holy shit, am I supposed to eat all this? I'm like, when our starter is the equivalent of a main meal, it's like, holy shit. As Manyas says, I would not want to warm up pizza either. Actually, I've got the perfect technique for warming up pizza so it comes out perfect. Yeah. So, sprinkle your pizza with a bit of water, put it in the microwave for 2 minutes, no more, then put it in the oven at 180 degrees C for 4 minutes to allow the bottom just to re-solidify and crisp back up because it goes soggy in the microwave. Comes out as if it's just been delivered. Comes out exactly the same.
The ribs that we had when we were down there were good, but the day we flew home, we actually went into what appeared to be a shack down the side alley.
Another one of Tombi's. Let's randomly go in this place.
Yeah,
fucking was good though.
Yeah, it was bloody fantastic, the food. So I think one of the things that we've taken away is steer clear of chains, steer clear of the fancy places, the bigger places, and go to the little one-man band, little side pubs and things like that, because the food's absolutely fantastic.
Do you know that our only regret in terms of food is not being able to find a proper diner. You know, like the stereotypical Americans in films, there's always a diner and you go in and someone eats a peach cobbler or something. That's the only thing that we couldn't really find. Now, we found close to it, which was Rian's on the way down from Sleepy Hollow down to Annapolis. But, yeah, that was the only thing that we didn't find. Reesh! Good to see ya. Good to see ya over on X. How you doing? Project Plug. Wait, you guys all trans, or does T mean something else? No, Tombi and Tam. 2 T's in a pod. Because I'm Tombi, that's Tam.
I'm female. I was born that way.
She was definitely born a chick, and having had many, many babies, I can confirm she has got bobs and vagine, and I definitely don't have bobs and vagine. I've definitely got
the bobs bit are debatable.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Oh dear.
Most real diners don't exist anymore, Donna says. Ah, yes. Yeah, and that's, do you know what? That's the shame of it, is most real diners don't exist anymore. We would have really loved to have experienced it whilst we were in America for those 3 weeks. Yeah, definitely would have loved to have it. Blazerhawk, Darren! Hello, sir! How you doing? Hello, first time in chat. I think you were either in the chat or on one of Clifton 3D's live streams. Yes. So Clifton's a good dude. Got a lot of time for Clifton. Got a lot of time for Anna's Gameland as well. We kind of all intermingle throughout all of our chats and things. So Blazerhawk, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Who got stabbed in the back? Who got stabbed in the back? I must have missed something from Asmandias.
Don't know.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Oh, it might have been to my the Bob's comment.
Oh yeah. She always stabs me in the back, but as long as she makes me a cup of tea every now and again, I'll let her off it.
I made you 2 and bought them up, and I bought you up.
Yes,
biscuits.
But I'm the host of the freaking podcast.
And what's that got to do with anything?
And you're the wife.
And what the fuck has that got to do with anything?
And I'm awesome. Yes. See? Exactly. Even as Mandiaz agrees, Tombi is awesome. Thank you very much indeed, sir. How you doing, Boosh? Good to see you. Good to see you. So yeah, it was a very enjoyable holiday. Where I've got loads of images, loads of video that I've taken across the whole thing. And one of the things that I'm doing over the course of the next couple of weeks is just stitching everything together, putting the road journeys in place with the maps and stuff. Battery H can't stay but a minute. Just wanted to give you both a big hello. Battery H, thank you very much
Hiya,
indeed.
Battery.
It's good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Rick says, Rhoda, I have a fantastic 24/7 diner within knee walking distance of my place. What's it called?
Yeah,
What's
it can't be
Rick?
too far away between Rick's bum knee and his bum hip and his bloody dicky ticker.
Yeah.
Can't be far.
Yeah. That reminds me, I need to send you the pics and vid I took. Yes, I'm going to need all of the images. Steel Leg sent me the ones of when we met up with Steel Leg. So for those that just join in the chat, both me and the wife spent 3 recent weeks in America. Absolutely loved it. Want to go back. We want to move over to America as soon as. We've got loads of videos. The only real shame in terms of people, we didn't get to see Scooby Pup because she was delayed on the flight. And we didn't get to see Mags because Mags' car had broken down, sadly. So she was stuck somewhere in North Carolina or South Carolina at the time.
We did get to see Rick.
We did get to see Rick.
We got to see Goat.
Yep, we got to see Goat as well.
We got to see Queen and Comics.
We did. So Comics Dad and Queen Comics. We were going to go and see White Bear, but unfortunately it was timing, and we were limited on what we could achieve on the Thursday, Friday. The Friday we were going to go do rodeo, weren't we?
Yeah.
And it was absolutely hammering it down at the place where they were doing the rodeo.
Flash floods and lightning strikes.
Yeah. So I ended up. We ended up going into Nashville.
Yes, where we did actually find a really lovely smaller bar in Nashville.
Yeah.
We did actually find that the not big name bars, the actual smaller little hole in the walls we call them, had better bands in them. The atmosphere was nicer. You know, it was actually quite a good night out.
It was this one. So Big Jimmies, it was called. Big Jimmies, and they had live music in there, and there was a young lad singing, and his name was Miles Bally, and this chap is absolutely awesome. So I'm going to drop his link in chat for Miles Bally. He's only 23, bless him, and he's come down. He's basically moved to Nashville like 2 years prior, and he's got a really good singing voice. Really, really good. Fully enjoyed it.
Yeah, but he also had a really good, fun sense of humour as well. Yeah. So, he was really interacting and having a laugh with everyone. And his family actually happened to be there that night.
Yeah, his family were there. I gave him a bit of a shout out on Twitter, and I had a conversation with him on Twitter after the fact. So, well worth supporting these young artists as they're coming up the ranks. But he is a good lad. Let's go back to this screen. Let's go back to this stream. Terra Crystal, Nashville is loaded with people hoping to make it big in the country music scene. You're not wrong. And
we actually, I will say, I have a problem with female singers because I've got a damaged eardrum. There are certain pitches I can't take, and one of those is the bitch pitch. And there were a lot of bitch pitches in Nashville.
Fucking bitch pitches. There was a lot of girls singing. Don't get me wrong, no problem with it. But some of them definitely were hitting registers that are outside of their range, and it just came across as screeching. There was one whiskey barrel or something. It was really close to the sea. It was really close to the river in Nashville, It was a little bit further up, or a little bit further down the hill from, say, Kid Rock's Honky Tonk and Whiskey River or some stupid whiskey fucking shit. Outside sounded perfect. Inside, their bass was so fucking loud you can hear nothing. I absolutely couldn't hear anything at all. So it was a little bit odd. Captain Vulgus, how you doing? It's good to see you. Woo! Woo to you too as well. And who else is there? Trump 2028. Fuck yes. That's what it's all about. Trump 2028. Hopefully, we're actually hoping that we actually move out to the States whilst Trump is still in power. I'm really hoping for it. I really am hoping for it. Low confidence frog. Can you go X-Man Wolverine mode? Can I go X-Man Wolverine mode? Yes, I could probably do that quite easily. The funny thing is my beard actually does start flaring out like Wolverine's. So I probably could do it. Got to do some stuff, so I'll see you later. Blazer Hawk, you take care of yourself, brother. Thank you very much indeed for stopping by and coming into the stream. It's much appreciated, sir. It's much appreciated. Yeah, but yeah, Nashville. Do you know what it was, Terra Crystal? One of the things we found weird, but now that we've experienced it, it's less weird. You go into a bar, there are country singers. You go into a restaurant, there are country singers. We went into the airport, there was country singer. We went into a shoe shop, there was a fucking country singer in there. Yes. It was an odd thing to experience. It was really, really, really odd thing to experience.
Yeah, it was the Ariat shop.
Yeah, it was the boot shop in Ariat, and there was just a guy that just randomly started. I was like, okay, they're everywhere. The only shame is obviously the bars don't pay them. They solely rely on the tips, which is why we were tipping absolutely everybody as much as we could do. But yeah, some of them were well worth their pennies. Some were well worth their pennies. Terra Crystal says, oddly, country music did not start in Nashville. It began in Bristol, where a New Yorker came down and had some artists perform hillbilly music. We actually went in the country music Hall of Fame, or the museum, or whatever it is. And yeah, it was an eye-opener. I actually got a picture. Oh, yeah. I actually got loads of pictures. Ha! Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I actually got pictures. And it was a very specific car.
Yes.
Let's see if I can find it. I got very drunk in Nashville as well.
He did get very, very, very hammered. Drunk.
I was absolutely spashed off my fucking face. The car from Smokey and the Bandit. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was very happy when he got to see Bandit.
Yeah, I was quite impressed. I was quite impressed with that. I was also impressed. Do you know what I was also impressed with? I went into a shop and I could find Iron Brew. I actually found Iron Brew in one of the shops. It was great. This was the house that we stayed in Nashville. Let's put it in front of my face. It will zoom in better.
Yeah.
It was a lovely house in Nashville. Absolutely lovely house. Abe, how you doing? It's good to see you. Oh shit! Fuck! Almost threw me a cup of tea everywhere. Charlotte, hello. Sorry I wasn't here for the first half. I was at karate. Oh, you doing karate, Charlotte?
Yeah, they're all going.
I did not know this. I did not know that.
They're all doing it.
No, that's good. Exercise, discipline. You get to take part in essentially team activities. No, good for you, Charlotte. I'm quite proud of that. It's good to see you. Rick says, fucking hobo piss polluting America. No, fuck off, you can't. I did
actually get a bottle of HP sauce as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I did find that. Okay, so
who found it?
Oh, well, you did. Yeah.
I was like,
The one thing that I wasn't doing was paying $4 for a tin of baked beans. I mean, that does take the fucking piss.
thank you very much indeed, Captainium Vulgus. Hello, I'm an agent of the Algorithm Booster Association, here to bestow a boon to engagement. My work here is done. Welcome to the fourth turning. Good luck all. Thank you very much indeed, sir. You take care of yourself, brother. Thank you very much indeed for the engagement. Mother Algorithm will love you for it. Abe just says, hi all, been lurking, Rhoda. Yeah, lurkers make the world go round. If you get bored, guys, cough. If you get bored, make sure you pop across and say hello on that Rumble link. I need more chatters. Just pop in one message. One message only. That's all you need to do. One message. Charlotte says, thank you very much indeed, Grandad. We just went over the rules and we did monkey say, monkey do. But that is karate. That is any disciplined martial art is monkey see, monkey do. And it's just getting better at recognizing what the command is and your stances. So yeah, just keep the effort going. Honestly, keep the effort going. He's a member of ABBA. Yes. How you doing, though, Boosh? How you doing?
But yep, we tried lots of different foods.
Biscuits and gravy. Okay.
Biscuits, lovely.
Tam loves biscuits. She loves biscuits, she loves eggs, and she loves bacon. And it's maple smoked cured bacon. She loves it. Absolutely loved it. That's what I made her pretty much every day when we got to Nashville. Biscuits and gravy. Biscuits and sausage gravy. Tombi had this in Knoxville. And I will say, I enjoyed it greatly. Now, the only problem with it was it's very, very, very salty. It's saltier than a typical British food. So as a result, I found it very, very rich. It was incredibly fucking tasty, though. I've really fucking enjoyed it. But I could only eat a small amount of it. I could only eat the 2 biscuits and, say, half of the gravy because it was just so rich because of the salt.
Yeah, see, I disliked it intensely.
Yeah, Tam really doesn't go for those kinds of things anyway. It's just inherently she'd never go for that. Which I can understand, I can appreciate, because she wouldn't go for that kind of thing when she's at home. She doesn't do stews. She doesn't do specific soups. She doesn't do lumpy meat soups.
No.
It's taken me a long time for her to actually start making beef casseroles and starting to enjoy those. But it's a rare thing. Me, just give me meat in a sauce or in gravy and bread, and I'm done. Yeah, no. The problem is, Rick, I've lived on a diet of very low salt. I don't add salt to pretty much anything.
I did actually realise why the food might be slightly saltier is because you need to retain more fluid because the temperature differences. I should imagine if our weather
when you stick meat in your mouth, you want it to taste good.
The way it is at the moment, then we're going to have to do it.
Did you hear the blurb?
No.
That's because... No, you should be able to hear the blurb.
No, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, it's because your Chrome isn't outputting to your headphones. It's outputting to your mixer. You know, in the bottom right-hand corner, you've got your audio icon. Let's sort this out. Let me teach the wife some tricks. Right.
So, headphones.
No, right. You can see the icon.
On my...
Right-click it.
On the headphone one.
Yep. Right-click it. Open volume mixer. Yeah. She's frozen.
Tombi's frozen?
No, you've frozen. You have frozen on my screen.
Oh. It appears we have no Tombi. I wonder if we've had a crash.
I'm here, bitch. I'm here. I have always been here. You are now back.
Oh, guys, it looks like you're stuck with me.
It's definitely not me. I'm going to have to shout
because
her in a
he
minute.
seems to have completely disappeared.
I've just shouted
I
out.
haven't done anything.
I'm fine. I'm going to go out. I can prove this.
Oh, I've got no net.
I bet she's disconnected herself.
Oh, dear.
I bet she's disconnected herself. Let me shout her again. I've just told her to leave the studio and rejoin it. Let's see if she can figure this out. Hello! Yes! Finally! I am free! Right, guys. So, yeah, trying to teach the wife to do anything when it comes to technical stuff is quite a challenge at times. You ask her to press a button, and then she disconnects herself from the internet. What do you mean, no backseating in the chat rules? Right, okay, so Brent, thank you very much indeed for joining. So Brent from Battlecam, good to see you, sir. It's mainly when we're playing, or when I'm playing video games. So on a podcast, don't stress about it, just talk away. When I'm playing video games, that's when the backseating comes into effect. So if I'm playing, say, Doom or Claire Obscure or World of Warcraft or any of those games. Oh, she's back. Yes, you are. Hello.
I thought it was you. You were just stuck on the
No.
screen.
No, it was definitely you. You frozen.
No,
But
you were frozen on mine.
I wonder what you pressed.
Only my speaker bit, so I'm not pressing anything now.
Yeah. Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
Very odd, very odd. Do you know the other thing as well? You were actually coming through on my screen. You were still there. But obviously because you were disconnected, you could no longer see me. But I also think EV Mux was having a problem then because the Twitter numbers went to 0 all of a sudden and now they've jumped back up. So it's bizarre.
Actually, I had no internet.
Which is also odd in itself. It explains it.
Yeah, it kind of just dropped off and popped back again.
Yeah, it would explain what had happened.
Head, but I've got to take it off. I'm sweltering. You can sit in a baseball cap all night. I don't know.
Easy. Because all of the sweat is going into the sweatband. That's how I do it. And this is why this cap needs to go into the wash quite often. Because it is very sweaty. It's certainly red hot in the UK. Red hot.
Yeah, it's still 25 degrees in the shade in the garden.
It's 30 degrees in this room right now. I do have the aircon in the room now. At some point, I'll get it sorted so I can put the aircon back on. Jonathan, Stevie, hello, sir. Thank you very much indeed. Hello, you fancy fuckers. How you doing, sir? How you doing? It's hot as balls in the UK right now. And UK temperature, our American cousins are going to laugh at us when we're talking about the temperature. So let me flip to this view. At the minute, it's currently 85 degrees Fahrenheit where we are, but it's the sheer levels of humidity is just horrible. It makes it all exceptionally sticky. It's grim. Now, granted, I've got the portable aircon unit, and I was actually looking at split aircon Samsung units because I'm moving the office from upstairs downstairs. So I just turned around to Tam earlier and said, I am sticking a split aircon unit in. I'm having a proper system fitted in the office downstairs, and I'm having the second unit in the downstairs dining room area. Because the thing is that with the dogs, they are very lethargic at the minute. They are very slow to move because it is just so freaking hot. And they're two Bernese mountain dogs. Absolutely red hot for those guys. So Steve says it's 32 degrees C in my room at this time. Yeah, it's hot as hell, brother. It's hot as hell. 5 degrees cooler than me, but I'm at 5% humidity. What's our humidity
45. I don't know.
Our humidity is at 38% right now. Which doesn't sound a lot, but it's so close and sticky. Oh, mate, I would hate that, honestly. 100%, I fully appreciate that. Laugh my ass off, bro. In Texas right now, it's 95 degrees F and 57 degrees percentage humidity. Fuck that. Mate, the only thing I will say is that standard, we don't have aircon. And most houses in American, fucking Jesus Christ. Most houses. I need more cups of tea. Fucking Jesus. Most houses in American. I can't fucking talk. Shit the bed. Take over the fucking podcast, Tam.
Put your teeth in.
Yeah, I'm going to need to.
Yeah, most places have aircon where it's not standard at all in the UK. We have portable fans for the most part, which all they do is move air around.
Yeah. Yeah. Asmandias says, we do not have AC. It's frowned upon here in Europe. Yeah. Do you know, so for my American cousins, the UK government has actually banned aircons from being installed into new houses. That's how bad it is in the UK.
Don't start me off on the government at the moment, not after what I've been reading for the last few days since we got back.
Yeah. Tara Crystal says humidity is currently 79% here in East Tennessee. Yeah, Brent, honestly, the government, so any new house that is built cannot be built with aircon fitted. There's nothing to stop you, say, a year later installing it yourself, but as a new build, they do not allow you to have aircon.
Because they can do it under the building regulations.
It's the building regulations for new build. It's a very specific thing. So in the UK, a lot of the houses that are built are government subsidised and they have to go through the correct approvals and whatever. And one of those things on the approvals is no aircon, otherwise you can't build. You've got to have heat pumps and other soak-away systems instead. Because they're trying to drive down the carbon... they're trying to offset carbon. And it's like ludicrous because I'll just wait 6 months or a year and I'll just buy the aircon systems myself and I'll just fit them. Now, our house was built in the 70s, so we can just fit them willy-nilly, but our houses are insulated to the yin-yang. And I do believe Yanni, the Yarn Witch Live, has just raided over on the YouTube, over on Rumble. Nice. Yanni! Do you have window unit aircons? People building a new house can afford to buy window units, which have a bigger carbon footprint. Do you know window aircon units are not a thing in the UK? What we get, I'll show you my portable one. Wrong camera. Fuck. The wife is downstairs and I'm upstairs. So what we get are these portable aircon units, which are okay. They do a job. They cool things down, but they are fucking noisy as shit.
Yeah.
They make an awful racket. But what I want to be doing is getting the split aircons. I was having a look today. Split aircon units, fit them on the wall. It's the same ones you get in your office and things like that, get in hotels. My American friends, you'll recognize them straight away. So I was actually scoping out the Samsung units. They're quiet enough. I can run the pipework, the gas pipework, through the extension ceiling out to the outside, down the side of the house, and put the cooling unit down there. So, Yanni, good to see you, sweetheart. Good to see you. It's insane. It's insane. Some of the things that go on in the UK are absolutely bonkers. But I pray for you guys over the pond more than anyone. Truly wish you the freedom you've earned. Do you know, I'm so most people realise that obviously Tombi, ex-UK veteran, I was injured in Gulf War II, which put an end to my military career. I would probably be still in up until the Queen died. I certainly wouldn't serve underneath the King. The King's a dickhead. But I do feel sorry for anybody that's currently in the armed forces. I certainly feel sorry for anybody that's in the armed forces anywhere in the world, because you just have to fucking do what you get told. But this country has gone to rack and ruin. It really has. That's the long and short of it. It's gone to rack and ruin. Myself and the wife are looking to move across to America because we need freedom units. And a lot of people, a lot of the white British public in the UK are all feeling exactly the same. We're all looking to move across to the US. We're all going.
Well, there was something in
Papers!
the Wednesday chat.
Yeah.
That Hannah Yama put in there.
Uh-huh.
It's actually a government advertisement for an office job, London-based.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What you'll need to qualify to apply for this job, you need to be. This is a British job, peeps. You need to be Black, Asian, and minority ethnic background, defined as having some African, Afro-Caribbean, Asian, or non-white heritage to apply for the job.
Here you go.
That's in the UK.
This shit. Look at this shit. Honestly, anywhere in the world, that is racism. That is racism in a nutshell. You must be of Black, Asian, minority ethnic background, defined as having some African, Afro-Caribbean, Asian, or other non-white heritage. To put that in a job description, that is racism. But because it's against whites, they're not deeming it as racism because that's allowed. Fucking arseholes. I tell you, fucking arseholes. This country has gone to shit, and this bullshit that fucking keeps on happening, this is happening more and more, and they're getting more brazen with it. And the thing is, if you have a look at the top, it's TfL. TfL is Transport for London. So that runs the underground, the overground, the tubes, the buses, you name it. Who's the head of that organisation? Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London. And he's not white. Prick.
I haven't got a problem with anybody getting a job on merit, irrespective. I haven't got a problem with anybody getting a job on merit. But when you can trace your heritage back at least 600 years of being British and you can't apply for a job that is your government, then it takes the piss.
Yeah.
That
exactly.
takes the piss.
And, I fully agree with you. Mitchell says, dude, you need to get the fuck out of the UK as soon as possible. I know you grew up there, so you don't realise how fucking bad you have it there, but life is way better here than America. Trust me, we know how good the American system is versus the UK system. Because just those 3 weeks we last spent in America showed us everything we needed to know. Now, I've lived all across the UK. I've also lived abroad because my dad was in the armed forces. Tam has only been in the UK. But we've got enough world knowledge that the UK is a fucking shithole. It's time to quit it, time to get out. It is time to get out. And do you know the other thing? So we look at things like the Constitution, rights to bear arms, and all that stuff. In the UK, over the course of 200, 300 years, they've systematically removed all of the power from the people. Over the course of 200, 300 years. Because they didn't want the same thing happening in the UK that happened in 1776. They didn't want
Cosmo.
it. Let me zoom down. There
he is.
Cos! Chaos Kitty!
It's the first time he's actually come up for a cuddle since we've been back.
Yeah, bless him. Normally,
did you-
normally that's the position he loves to be in when we're streaming. He'll just go and sit on the wife's lap. Bless his heart. Steve says, "Better paint your ass black and hope for the best." Yes. Yeah, I was gonna say something to Peepers. Peepers, you were in the Navy. I question, because I've never asked you. I assume that's U.S. Navy. I assume that's U.S. Navy. Irrespective of what Navy, thank you very much indeed for your service, sir. Always good to see fellow members of the armed forces. Galadon, they are breaking the law in California doing that also. They do it here, and it's supposed to be illegal. It is supposed to be illegal.
Yeah, it is. It just...
Because it's
pisses
down as
me off.
positive discrimination.
Yeah.
It is positive discrimination. They're fucking arseholes, man. Daily, and nowhere have they got it worse than Canada right now. Daily Dysfunction, who is in Canada, I feel sorry for you, Daily. They want chaos, a civil war. They're pushing digital IDs and CBDCs. Starmer, Macron, all WEF. They're under Klaus and the King. Yeah. Mitchell says some jobs in America you have to speak Spanish to be hired. Now, I'm quite lucky. I actually did learn Spanish as a child. And I did live in Spain when I was growing up, so I can switch over to Spanish. It probably wouldn't take me long to get back speaking fluently in Spanish. I haven't had to use it in a good 20 years, but I did spend a lot of time there. Dusty says, "Welcome to the third world, my friends." Yeah, that's what it bloody feels like, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's getting worse.
Fraser!
It's been getting worse for a long time. It's just the last couple of years, or since COVID, they've just found another way of stamping all over us.
Fraser says, "I immigrated away from the UK 10 years ago. I could see the civilization was ending even then." Yeah, it's been a long old boil off. You are 100% correct there. We are. So the next so we have to be very careful with when we leave because of parents and stuff like that. But we do have that 2-year to 5-year plan. We own our current house, so it would be a case of sell the current property, sell the current vehicle, pack everything else up. My work, who I'm employed by. Hello, Yanni, over on Rumble, by the way. Who I'm employed by, my employer is global, so they've got branches across the world. Whilst they don't have a specific branch for my application that I look after, so I'm an enterprise application consultant, whilst they don't have an enterprise asset management function yet in America, they are looking to do that. So once that's in place, sponsorship should become fairly straightforward for me to just get sponsorship to go across to America, work for the same company, just under the umbrella, US umbrella. That's the goal. If not, I'll just look at working for Hexagon or no amount of different consultancy firms that exist over in America. And I work from home because I'm a coder. So technically I could work for myself and just be self-employed. People says, yes, I was in the US Navy 8 years. Thank you for your service, brother. Thank you for your service. Fallout Dave, with their side, discrimination is good as long as they're the ones that are doing it. Yeah, that's the problem. And they're getting far too brazen with it. They're getting far too brazen. I also did see Zombie Box Reviews. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Yeah, the whole thing's getting a bit much now.
Dusty says, "Are you watching the South African refugee situation, Tommy?" Do you know what? I've got a lot of friends that are South African, so the team that I currently work in, 90% of them are all South African. So paying attention to a lot of everything that's going on, because quite a lot of the team are actually in Joburg and just outside Joburg. Things are not good. Things are not good at all. Mitchell says, where at? I'm in South Houston. Come to Texas. Small town. See, we were thinking of Texas, but the problem is our dogs. So we've got Bernese Mountain Dogs, and there's an upper limit in terms of temperature that I would say is acceptable for those dogs because they're Swiss Mountain Dogs. So the reason we're looking at Tennessee is because yes, it does get warm, but also gets cold, and it's very much UK weather. It's as equivalent to UK weather as we can get, which is why we were settling on Tennessee. But also Tennessee's got a lot more snow, which is the other thing Bernese Mountain Dogs just love. Absolutely love. Do it fast. I won't be surprised if they start strictly restricting who can have a passport. Now, the lucky thing is, and it's less about tooting my own horn here, there's certain legislation with who can get access to jobs and roles and get visas, green cards, and things like that. And there's a certain percentage of the populace, if you are 95% in your band for employment, kind of like skill sets and stuff like that, it's called an exceptional candidate rule. Lucky enough, I've checked with my peers, and yeah, I'm in that 95 percentile, so I shouldn't have too much of a problem. But yeah, sooner rather than later, you are 100% correct. You are 100% correct. I need to get as soon as. Daily dysfunction, that's why I've been freaking out. They want everyone to be surveilled, money, food, etc. all controlled, 15-minute cities, zones for everyone. You won't be able to leave. Yeah, and that's it. That's it. Yes.
Yeah, technically, Rick, Tommy doesn't need sponsorship because he can do it off of his skill set. And obviously, because we're married, I also qualify with him.
Yeah, Tam qualifies off the back of me. The other thing that's good is because we own our own home, we will just be buying a place outright. And I've also got my military pension, which is a
guaranteed lifetime.
Yeah, guaranteed lifetime pension. So that means that I've always got income coming in, even if I wasn't working. I've still got the equivalent of $40,000 coming in on a yearly basis. So we donate to the shelters over £500 a week of pork. Holy hell! Holy hell. Terra Crystal just sent you a link on Twitter for current real estate 50 miles or less. Ooh. No. Nothing's come up.
Yeah, we did actually look at a place.
We did.
And although it had land with it, it had woods, it had the brook down the back, the house was a good size, it had a barn and a granny annex.
Yep.
It just wasn't quite what we were looking for. And the immediate neighbours were actually looked after their property. They seemed quite nice. As we got a little bit down the road, and it was only a little bit, we stopped at the dollar store, and the neighbours past that little stretch of road weren't so good.
Yeah. See, Real Wade, Nation Gaming over on Rumble. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, I just saw it. Blounteville, Tennessee. I need to take Tam through it. These are all. Oh, some of them are for renting. Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I wish that's all it was, Rick. It was. I reckon some of the blokes had definitely had too much wife beater juice.
Yeah, some of the individuals that we were bumping into in the dollar stores were a bit ropey.
Yeah,
they looked like they had been cooking up meth all morning, and then just stepped out to rob a convenience store because they needed some Sudafed or something.
Yeah, not quite the neighbours that I would be looking for.
Nah.
So, the house is falling apart around their ear holes, but they've got 3 or 4 brand new trucks outside the house. Something slightly iffy there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bring up Nashville. Because where was it? Wasn't Lebanon. Where did we drive through?
Oh, it was
Cookville. And there was something else. There was something else around that area. Yeah, there was definitely something else around that area. I'm just trying to think of where it is.
But yeah, it wasn't the best area.
No.
Yeah. But the house wasn't quite right anyway.
Yeah, so the house that we did go and look at, and I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find where it was. The problem is that just out the back of the property, there was a 20-foot to 30-foot solid drop off a cliff. And it was like, we've got 2 giant bloody Bernese mountain dogs. All I need is one of those to be going peltering in the garden and slip on ice or whatever, and then whee learns to fucking fly. That's the last thing I need. And not just that, but if I get absolutely freaking pissed as a fart one day, the last thing I want to be doing is cooking a barbecue and then take a couple of steps back and my ass is down a ravine. Fuck that. Tombi, that's where you toss your enemies. That's not a bad shout. That's not a bad shout, to be honest. As a chemist, I wonder if I would be in demand. You just go into business yourself, mate. You could probably go into business yourself, to be honest. There's Knoxville.
So it was up, and if you're looking at it, up and slightly towards Nashville, but it wasn't far out.
Right. So I found the right. Yeah. So I've got the property that we looked at. So let me share screen, guys. Let me share the screen. Brian, good day, everyone. Brian, good to see you, my friend. Sharing the wrong freaking screen. So let's share this one instead. So this was the property. From the front, so as you approach it from the road, it looked lovely in terms of the grounds were nice and clean kept. It was kind of like a horseshoe shape in terms of from the road to get to the property. So it was a horseshoe, plenty of stuff. Now, when you start then looking at the property, now from here you can't really see it, but it is severely run down. It is severely run down. These vehicles that you see in the images, they also haven't moved for 10, 20 years probably. So some of them were a little bit CZ. So yeah, very rundown property, which is a shame because the family have gone through some incredible hardship, and they're just calling it quits on the property, which is why they're moving.
But they had actually done a hell of a lot of work in there.
Yeah. You could see that a lot of work had been done because they had bought the property and were slowly going through the process of doing the work. But you could see it was only partially completed. I would say if this was a project, this was a project that was at least 2 years in process, and they were 4 months into it. So a lot of it they needed to improve, rip out, change, get rid of. Obviously, some of these rooms that you see in these images they hadn't touched, so which is why some of them are god awful. Others are in a lot better state. Now, what you see here is one angle from down the cliff. So you're actually looking up at the house, at the back of the house. But certainly in the kitchen area, it looked quite cozy. Cluttered, definitely cluttered, but very, very homely. Everything looked pretty good in there. No immediate issues with any of this. They do have a vault or a gun safe. I think it was in one of these images. So this is where you start seeing some of the rest of the house which hasn't been touched because they're slowly going through. So plasterboard that hasn't been mudded and fixed, open spaces, workshop. So they're extending out the back. Now, I couldn't understand why they're extending out the back of the house when you've got this solid, great 20, 30 foot drop out the back. They should have extended out the front where there's a shitload more room. So yeah, just unfinished. And eventually it gets to their gun safe. I mean, that's definitely a bit OT of a door, if you ask me.
It was a bit.
If you ask me, that's a freaking vault door. So it looks like they possibly just stole a bank vault and just installed it there. That hadn't moved. So that was this barn was actually a second house on the property, which wasn't able. We weren't able to see in it. We got no layout of it. But you see from the front, the grass is all nicely kept. They keep it nice and tidy. I mean, it looked lovely out the front. But I would have extended it out the front. So it is what it is.
I mean, that's out the front, all that green that's out the front is actually mirrored to the side in woods.
Yeah. Says reason we use vaults for safes is insurance and fires. That's not actually a bad reason, actually. Thinking about it.
Yeah.
Thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense to keep a lot of things in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, approaching from the road, it didn't look too bad. But certainly when you got in there, it did have its issues. But we went from there. So if I go back to the map, we went from where this was, and we drove through. We definitely drove through Cookville. Drove through.
It was
Cookville.
before there. It was just along from the property that it was bad, and it was like, no, I don't think I want to be here.
Mm.
So it is definitely something that we're seriously. I think when it comes to it and we're all prepared, it will be a case of, right, we're coming out. These are the properties that we're looking at in this time. Even the auction ones. No, we haven't looked at Oklahoma. Don't they get a lot of tornadoes in Oklahoma?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oklahoma.
That was bad enough getting the warnings when we got down to Annapolis.
Oklahoma. And then do Oklahoma. Overnight storms bring 2 tornadoes in Oklahoma. When was that?
No thanks. Yeah.
Just a bit breezy. That's all.
Just a bit breezy.
Yeah, it's just a bit breezy.
Yeah, no, I don't fancy that.
Fraser says, why do Brits always act like they're above Americans? Always comes off like they think we are loud, dumb, or too confident.
Well, no, actually, we found the Americans to be very nice.
Yeah.
With the rare exception.
Yeah. Do you know who are pains in the arses? And it's not the Americans, it's not the Brits, it's freaking Russians, man. They are obnoxious as shit.
Yeah, I mean, I would say most Americans that we came across were very nice.
Mm.
I mean, obviously, where we were driving, they were people that I would avoid here.
Yeah.
The ones that were, so no different to the sorts that I would avoid here, but we didn't actually see too many of them.
Mm. Almond says, Russians and Balkans is a different vibe, but they are super loyal if you are down with them. Yeah, I agree with that. Zombie Box Reviews. Most of my friends are Americans. Most of mine are. Most of mine, as you can see, there's plenty of people in chat quite regularly, whether it's on Rumble, whether it's on YouTube, Twitter, you name it. Most of the people that I interact with and all the friends are all Americans, with a few exceptions. They're over in Europe.
It's all right. I'm laughing at Tara.
Tara Crystal says, biggest problem with Oklahoma, the constant need to start every day by singing, "Oh, what a beautiful morning." Yes. Yeah, I would agree with that, so says, our vocabulary is more blunt and opinionated. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And sometimes it's quite difficult sometimes to look at it from a British perspective, because usually we're fairly reserved when passing commentary, whereas the Americans typically are not. And there's no right or wrong reason either way for either perspective, but it can come across sometimes as obnoxious either direction or pretentious in the other. So it's 6 and 2 threes. 6 and 2 threes, mate. A proper English breakfast with blood sausage and beans. Do you know what it is? That's black pudding, blood sausage, black pudding. Absolutely amazing. I love it. And that's the one thing that I will need to have imported unless I can find a proper English recipe. DB! Dealbreaker says LA looks lovely this time of year. Yes. It definitely does. It certainly looks lovely. I imagine Russians are quite aggressive towards Brits at the moment due to country invasion events. You'll probably find most of the people don't really care. It's like most Americans don't really care. Most Brits don't really care. You'll get your up the arse individuals from any country, but the general public just want to exist and just live peacefully across the board, whether they're in America, US, Europe, Russia, China, you name it. They just want to just simply have a simple existence. And it's usually the governments which interfere with that simple existence, let's face it. Fraser, just what I found was a common view by locals in the UK, especially from those who don't travel. No, we travel quite a lot, and especially with both myself and the family. I mean, I've lived all over the world, so I've interacted with pretty much everyone from every continent. I've been around the world a few times.
I would say the average Joe across the world, most people are pretty easygoing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, we've come across fucking arseholes in every country that we've travelled to.
Yeah.
And an arsehole is an arsehole, and it doesn't matter where you pick them up and drop them. But in general, yeah, I mean, I would say a good proportion of the people that we spoke to while we were away were absolutely lovely. Yeah,
absolutely lovely. No problem with them. Would quite happily spend more time in their company. And this is the other thing. We are looking forward to the next time we get across to the US to spend more time. I mean, quite a few of the guys I regularly talk to in streams and in chats and on their streams, they've all said, right, okay, you got to have to come across to the next MegaCon or DragonCon or whatever, and go spend some time. So I've got to somehow get the leave pass from the wife to go for a long weekend, which is easier said than done because we're incredibly busy and got so much to do. Got so much to do in the house. But Almond says, I sat in an airport in Turkey with an Iranian lady for an hour, not wearing head-to-toe black garb, all lies. Nice lady said death to America was a slogan like make America great again. Yeah, doesn't surprise me. Mitchell says, it's understandable. Americans broke away from the UK, so there's going to be animosity there, but it's always been taught we're enemies, but we're not. They are. Do you know the funny thing is that 1776, breaking away and all that good stuff. I mate, you're right. I make the guys who broke away completely correct. Completely correct. And the problem is that if you look at what's happening in the UK last 20, 30 years, we would want to do the same thing again. We'd want to do the same thing again. Because the people in charge are just screwing over the general UK public. Which is why we're trying to escape. Which is why we're trying to escape the UK. Come to America. We need freedom units. It's way ahead. Right, I'm getting hot as balls in this room. So I think we're going to call it a day there.
Yeah, I also need to sort out these little woof-woofs because they keep coming over to pester me, and Poppy's hot breath on my leg at the moment is not comfortable.
Fraser says, if you ask most people in the UK what you think about Americans, the answer will be negative. I always wondered why that was, as I love America. Yeah, I will say there is some sentiment amongst people that Americans are brash, loud, and obnoxious. But all of the Americans that I've talked to, all the Americans that I've spoken to, there were very few people that really fit that bill. All the Americans, generally, most of the Americans that I've come across have all been very nice individuals.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So we are going to call it there. It's too freaking hot to stay in this room any longer. So thank you very much indeed, all. We are going to be back with 2 teas. That is Tombi and Tam on Saturday afternoon. It doesn't stand for anything else.
It's not 2 transvestites.
No, Tombi, Tam. So 2 teas. Thank you very much indeed, guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff because it always helps the channel out. Always leave a comment after the effect if you so desire. And I'm probably going to be back in about half an hour to play some June Awakening. Maybe. Depends on how quickly this room cools down. So until then, guys, remember Friday is going to be Rumble exclusive only. So you won't see a Twitter feed. You won't see a YouTube feed tomorrow for me on Rumble on Friday. So make sure you pop across and see us over on Rumble tomorrow for all the exclusive content. Until then, guys, look after yourselves. It's been an absolute pleasure. And we will see you on the next one. Bye for now.
Bye.
So that's the end, we've talked away. Tombi and Tam, we're done for the day. TV talk and a bit of the news. Some movie reviews, but now we must move. From big screen dreams to our daily schemes. Move, pets, and holiday themes. Poppy and Rosie snoring so proud. Cosmo, Yarny, and Salem, no need for a crowd. So smash that like, don't miss a sub. You never know what's coming up. 2 voices, 1 vibe, join the squad. There's 2 T's in a pod. Knowing overcrowding you, no if I move from big screen dreams to our daily schemes, moves, pets, and holiday themes. Poppy and Rosie snoring so proud. Cosmo, Yarny, and Salem, no need for a crowd. So smash that like, don't miss a sub. You never know what's coming up. 2 voices, 1 vibe, join the squad. There's 2 T's in a pod, don't need for a crowd. That's 2 T's in a pod. 2 voices, 1 vibe, join the squad. That's 2 T's in a pod. So smash that like, don't miss a sub. You never know what's coming up. 2 voices, 1 vibe, join the squad.